Please support our local veterans and first responders. Without them, we can't do what we're doing here. Hello friends, welcome to the Blind Model Builder. If you're first time joining me at my channel, thanks for showing up. If you've been here a few times, thanks for coming back. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe and the like button, and I'd appreciate it. We are here for a What Did You Buy Wednesday, and we will get right into that right after a short message from my sponsor. If you would like a shop card or would like to exchange shop cards, please contact me at the email above and I will get one right out to you. Well, if you're not familiar with What Did You Buy Wednesday, it's hosted by my good friend Joe over there at BigSkyModelWorkshop. If you haven't checked out his channel, I encourage you to do so. What Did You Buy Wednesday is not about just what you purchased in this last week. It could be about stash ads, something you bought last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It may have been something you got when you were a kid. You never know. I mean, it could be your pride and joy model or model kit, your holy grail kit. It could be any of those things, or it could just be some paint. If you find yourself a new internet supplier, let us know. You find something from the dollar store, let us know. Find something from Harbor Freight, one of my favorite places to go and find stuff is Harbor Freight. Even Home Depot or Lowe's is a good place to find some of our modeling needs. So you never know. Something something you buy may inspire one of us to go out and pick up the same thing, or visit that internet, that new internet seller. And that's kind of what I have today, is a couple of new internet sellers. I believe these are all off of eBay. I'll have to double check that, but I believe so. And the other thing I was going to do, and as I was doing some spray outs yesterday, I found myself wondering, or found myself noticing a big weight differences in airbrushes. Some are obvious, some aren't. But I'm going to go over that here real quick at the end of the video. So let's take and swing the camera around. Let's take a look at what I got for stash ads. Like I said, there wasn't much this week. Had a big week last week with my daughter being in town, meeting the granddaughter again, getting to see her for the first time in a few months. So yeah, that kind of took precedence over everything else. So let's get this thing spun around and take a look at what we got. For all your airbrush and acrylic paint needs, please visit Gallery and use my discount code to save an extra 10% off your order. Now, I've only opened these packages. I haven't actually looked inside of them. This first one is from, let's see, gentleman by the name of Jerome Cook. This is an eBay purchase. And does a nice job packing. It's Kind of a big box for what he sent, but that's all right. This is from Jay's Resin Wheels. And the reason I got these is I just wound up using a set of them. Or let me reframe that. I may be using a set of them because I'm on the fence whether I'm going to use these wheels on my Chevelle or on the 70 Chevelle or not. But these, if nothing else, they will be used on a future build. And by the way, these, if my video yesterday, I actually shot these in the Kaleido Rubber Black, and I also shot them in Fusion Firm. You know, check out that video, see how that turned out. So that's gonna be the wheels. And next, I thought this was actually a pizza box from Josh from VCG Resins, but I don't think it is. Same type of box. At least I don't think it is. And we have a lot. Let's make sure we have nothing in there that's going to be that we're going to need later. But this is from, see if you can catch that, American Model Products LLC. I believe this was off of eBay, and there's a QR code if you are interested in heading there. I'm pretty sure it was another set of wheels. Yes. These are a set of, if I'm not mistaken, American Racing wheels. I believe these are in 17-inch, where the other ones I have are 20s and 21s. And if I'm not mistaken, these wheels from Jay's Resins are close to they're pretty close to American Racing. They're pretty close to American Racing, but you can definitely tell the size difference. We have staggered 2021s, and we have probably, I think these are 17-inch. These were also going to be a possibility for the Chevelle. Got to get those painted up today, and we'll go from there. Next, I'm pretty sure this is from the same buyer. Matter of fact, there we go. Yep, same buyer. This would be from Jay's Resin Wheels. I have gotten his stuff in the past, and again, or no, not Jay's Resin Wheels. American Model Products, and like I say, they're off of eBay, and there's their QR code. And the nice thing about these is, off of eBay, normal price on them was something like $16.49, something like that. And you put it in your, not in your cart, but like in your wish list, and they'll send you off a rebate, like save $1.50. That's how I usually try to get them. So now these are a set of racing slicks. Let me get one out here. Racing slicks are not something I normally get. I don't usually do that type of build, but I did the drag and drive, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, you see some, and I know very little about drag racing. I know that drag racing uses wide, fat tires. So yeah, wide fats in the front and the back, and skinnies in the front. So you guys have to tell me what kind of wheel and tire combination that is. I do believe these are marked as Mickey Thompson's. That name I'm familiar with. But yeah, so those are what I got there. And these will actually be for a build coming up, probably, I don't know, next time they do a drag and drive type of build. Now, I'm going to get the camera resituated. Let's go over the airbrushes and the weights on them. It's actually is kind of fascinating if you're kind of geeky into that kind of stuff like I am. So just a minute. Yeah, on September 5th, come join us for the 5th annual Dog Days of Summer car show hosted by Guardian Paws Service Dogs. Okay, as you can see, I've got just a regular old kitchen scale here. You're probably not going to be able to see the readout on it, but I will let you know what I get. I'm going to be doing weight tests on regular style airbrushes like this, and I'll also be comparing it to some trigger style like that, and I will let you know what the weights are as they go by. I'm going to start out generally least expensive up to most expensive, at least in my collection per type. The first is the GHAD 39. I believe you can get this one somewhere in the $40 range. Sometimes on sale you can get it down into about the $35 range. I do have a 10% discount code that can be found in the link below that can get you 10% off any of these airbrushes through Gallery itself. Now this one, the GHAD 39 comes in at 4.2 ounces. Okay, let me get that written down. Next, we're going to go with the Seeker, which comes in right around $55, $60. Again, there's the 10% coupon. This guy comes in at 4.0, so it's a little bit lighter. And there are some definite upgrades from this to the I'm sorry about that. There's some definite upgrades from this to the GHAD 39, but if you're just looking to get into airbrushing, that's the one I would go with. And if you look on Gallery right now, they've got some really good deals on a little portable airbrush, or a little portable air compressor that comes with the airbrush. I believe it is the I've seen everyone. Just a second. The small air compressor that they have on sale right now is called the, I'll show it to you right here, the Turbo Box Mini. It's selling for what, $57. I don't have this personally, but go to MK Model Works. He did a excellent review of this here just in the last about 2 weeks. Someone else has got a good review on it, is Barbatos Rex. But yeah, you get into that, then you go with the GHAD 39, priced somewhere around $40, under $100 you're airbrushing. That's actually a really stellar deal. But now, getting into our weight test, this one here is going to be the Advantis. This is the brush that is, the way I look at it, it's almost a work of art, but my God, the results it gives is something unbelievable. That guy right there, let's see, what does he weigh in at? Let's try that again. Come on. Just a second, having problems with the scale. We are back. Technical issues. Now that guy comes in at 3 ounces flat. So that airbrush right there will run you, I think, $199. But yeah, that one is probably the most expensive airbrush I have. It is a work of art and it performs like such. So I generally do that when I use this brush for spraying chrome when I know I need to spray something that's going to be absolutely glass, that I really can't wet sand. That's when I use that guy. Now next we are going to do the trigger airbrushes. I'm going to start out with this is a gallery product as well, the GHAD 68. Where are you at? 68. Here we go. I have a 0.3 needle in this, and I'll be honest, I have 2 of these. One has a 0.3, one has a 0.5. I really don't use these that often anymore. I've just found some, for a little bit smaller hand, this would work out a little bit better, but at the time, this is what I needed. It was an inexpensive air gun. It was under $60 when I bought it, and it did what I needed it to do. Now you're going to expect these are going to weigh a little bit more. This particular guy, he comes in at 7.8 ounces. And next we will have the swallowtail. And some of these might change because of the cup size I have on it. Like this one, I've got a larger cup. I believe this is a 0.5. No, this particular one's a 0.7. Let me go with my 0.5. It's the one I use the most. Right there, 0.5. I've got the fan cap on it. I'll be doing some testing with that as opposed to a standard cap here. Hopefully later on this week. But what do you weigh in at, Mr. Swallowtail? Swallowtail comes in at 6.6 ounces. So it's actually getting a bit lighter. The next one we are going to do is the Mobius TG. This is actually the newest airbrush in my fleet. It's the only one that I have with a Mac valve, and honestly, I'm trying to get to know how to use this. This gun is extremely comfortable in the hand. Again, it comes with the larger cup. I could switch out a smaller cup from one of my other airbrushes if I wanted to, but just leave it as it is. What do you weigh in at? Because you feel considerably heavier. He comes in at also 7.8 ounces. Kind of surprises me that he's the same as the Mobius, or not the Mobius, the GH80 68. I want to redo that 68 real quick. Oh, I was wrong. The 68 came in at 7.0 ounces. So I was wrong on that one. I will put at the end, I will put up a little sheet and show you exactly what some of these weighed in at. The last one I'm going to do is not a gallery brand, but is another airbrush that I use often. It is my Sparmax P50. I use this one because of the offset. I know if I wanted, I could go to Gallery. They have an offset or they have a siphon. I've never used a siphon airbrush. I'll stick with the gravity. It's what I know. But what does the Sparmax come in at? Sparmax also comes in at 7.0. So, what did we learn from all this? Oh, let's see here. Let me get you put back in. We're in a place that you won't fall and break. Okay. Let me get the camera turned around. We'll finish this off. Well, we're going to go ahead and finish this video off, and I know this is a little bit off skew from a What Did You Buy Wednesday, but I look at it as kind of a What Did You Buy adjacent. If you're new into airbrushing, or if you've been looking at an airbrush and you're kind of wondering, you know, what's out there, weight is an important thing when it comes to an airbrush. So if you figure you're going to be holding it in your hand, some people brush two-handed like this, and like they're shooting a firearm. Some people just do one-handed, you know, spray one-handed, hold the part with the other. I mean, it's all in your comfort. I do both depending on what I'm spraying. And these numbers, I was kind of surprised by them. You know, the weights aren't that much different, but if you're like me, I had a stroke about 15 years ago, and I have a loss of motion, a loss of dexterity, an overall loss of strength on my left side. And my right side compensates, but doing that, I've got problems with my right shoulder now. So life is life. You get old. You do stupid things when you're young. You get to pay for them when you're older. Trust me, I'm a poster child for that. But anyway, going over that, the airbrushes, these are the ones I have on hand. Now, there are bunch of other brands out there. Harbor Freight sells a Black Widow line. If you're interested in that, go check out One Team Garage. Head over there. He has a Black Widow, and he goes over his do's and don'ts, pros and cons on it. I don't have one, so I really can't speak on it. So please visit him. Look back in his catalog of videos and you'll find it. He also does some great paint work. I've learned a lot from him. But anyway, looking over just the weight of the airbrushes I have on hand, or that I use. I mean, I have an Wdybw around here somewhere, but I don't use it. Honestly, I need to tear it apart, rebuild it, and try and use it and compare it to my galleries, but I don't see the need. I've got guns at work. It's just the way it is. The GH8039, the cheapest of the bunch, I actually thought might weigh a little bit less than the Seeker. You know, got a cutout in the back, stuff like that. But as far as traditional style airbrushes, you know, I guess I'll call them over the hand triggers, it comes in at 4.2 ounces. The Seeker comes in at 4. What does that tell me? You're not gonna the Seeker is not going to be as taxing on your hand and your wrist. Hand, wrist, forearm, as the GHAD 39 in long sprays. Then you get to the Aventus. That's a full ounce lighter. That comes in at 3 ounces. You're going to be able to spray with that much longer. Again, they all have pros and cons. And some people say, well, the Advantage comes with smaller cups. Yes, it does. But the nice thing about Gallery products, their cups are interchangeable from one gun to another. You don't need to stick with just the Mobius line for that cup to fit. My Mobius cup will fit on my Swallowtail. My Swallowtail cup will fit on my Aventus. So, yeah. That is what, that it's a nice thing about having, I guess, airbrushes in that line. Now, when you get to the trigger style, you have the GHAD 68 comes in at 7 ounces. It's really not that bad. I mean, granted, instead of the internals being in line like this, the internals are actually a little bit lower, but it's a more comfortable, more natural way of spraying. I mean, if you ever sprayed a car, a 1-to-1 car, you're using, a pistol style airbrush. If that's what you're familiar with, I mean, go out and you can do that. I mean, the GHAD 68 is going to be the cheapest of this bunch. The next one that comes in is the Swallowtail. The Swallowtail is, of these 3 Mobius brushes, or of these 3 Gallery brushes, I should say, is the most expensive. It comes in at $129, I believe, but it also comes with a 0.3, 0.5, and a 0.7 needle. You gotta take that into consideration. It's where I think the GH80 68 might come with a 0.3 and a 0.5. I bought that gun a while ago. I'd really have to look back at it to be sure. But the Swallowtail, 3 needles, and I think 2 different cup sizes. It's a good overall gun, and at $129, you take use the 10% discount code, either mine or there are many of them out there. You use that, you wind up into that gun for $12 off. So, what does that come out to? Around $112. It's $112, but it's something that if you decide you don't like it, you'll recoup out. You would be able to resell that airbrush without taking a huge loss. Now the next one is the Mobius TG. That weighed the most. Granted, it did have a MAC valve. That brush comes in at about $98. You can find it a lot of times on Prime Day. That gun will be on sale. You can get it for around $78 on Prime Day. Again, use your 10% discount. And also keep your eye out in August. I don't have all the details on it, but in August, Gallery is having a huge sale coming up, and it's supposed to be store-wide. As soon as I know more about it, I will have links to it in my description. I will make sure you guys know about it. I've just started to get some of the word on it, and I've been in contact with a couple other people that are also associates of Gallery. We're just waiting to see what all is happening with that. But that TG, it just comes in a 0.5, but it comes with a fan cap. It comes with a MAC valve, so there's a little bit more adjustment there. That brush comes in at 7.8 ounces. Yes, that is going to be more taxing on you. You know, if you're deciding you're going to do a longer spray, you might want to take that into consideration. You'll have, like for me, if I'm using the TG, I can spray for about an hour. I'll clean the brush out, I take a break, and I'll come back about an hour later, which gives me drying time, so it works out. Now the last airbrush that we'll talk about is the Sparmax P50. Remember, that's the one with the offset, what do you call it? The offset cup. The advantage of that is you'll be able to look straight down. You don't have the cup in the way, so you see exactly what's being sprayed. Granted, it kind of puts the weight off to one side, so you got to adjust a little bit. It's not that big a deal. It weighs in at 7 ounces. That is actually a very good airbrush, and it too is under $100. As soon as I can find out where to actually get that one, I will make sure to post it. It's actually, you know, I have had that. That's probably the airbrush I have had the longest of the ones I use, and I have 2 of them. You know, one's a 0.3, one's a 0.3, and one's a 0.7 if I remember right. And I use the 0.7 to shoot primer. If I'm going to be shooting a lot of primer down, yeah, blast it out with a 0.7, comes out fine. So that is what I have for that test. I'm hoping it kind of gives you guys some information, kind of lets you know, some of the differences out there just in weight wise. And if you guys are actually looking for a kitchen scale, go acquire one from your wife's kitchen and just tell her it broke. Bring it out to your garage or your workbench. Use it to measure out paint. It's the most exact way to make sure your paint ratios are correct. That's how I got mine. I don't think my wife has really missed it yet. Or she just went out and got another one. I don't know. But that one's been around our house for 15 plus years. So it's probably going to die here any day. Then I'll have to go take the new one. Hey. But anyway, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you get out to the bench, have fun building, and stay cool. If you guys are in that fire zone where the smoke is hitting you, stay safe. I'm in that. I've got to leave the garage for a while. It's getting a little bit thick out here. So we will talk to you later. Bye. Please support our local first responders and veterans and active duty members of the military. Without them, we can't do what we do here.